Coming up on this Thursday edition of Golden State Warriors Today, we have a new update on Klay Thompson. Is he going to return to the Dubs after all in NBA free agency? Stay tuned for that conversation. And then also, we'll do some draft talk here on the show. A new ESPN 2024 NBA Mock Draft has been released. The draft coming up next Wednesday. Who do the Warriors take in the second round? First, I want to pop this graphic up because this is a look at all of the NBA channels here at Chat Sports and all of the subscribers that they have picked up in the month of June. Golden State Warriors today in a good spot, 5th among the 8 teams here. Now you look at Boston Celtics today, Dallas Mavericks today. Those are 2 teams that have been doing watch parties en route to the NBA Finals, so those numbers are naturally high. But we can always add on top of the 267 new subs that we've picked up since June 1. Can we pick up 40 subs on today's show? And then therefore we take over 76ers now and we continue that pursuit of perfection. Hit that sub button. This is your go-to spot for the best Warriors coverage on YouTube year-round. And with that, let's let it rip and start today's show. There's been so much chatter about the Klay Thompson era ending with the Golden State Warriors. Could it continue? Brian Windhorst of ESPN stirring up some rumors of a possible return to Golden State for Klay Thompson. He was on the Pat McAfee show, and he said, I find it hard to believe that Klay Thompson would leave the Warriors, but I guess it's possible. Knowing Klay a little bit, I wonder if this isn't all about the money. That's what he said to continue that. And then furthermore, Klay Thompson lost his starting job last year, and he was getting benched at the end of games. Part of this might be is what is his role going to be? Now, we've talked about the money. We've talked about him declining. We talked about his role on this Warriors team and what that role would be and what the salary would be. Windhorst also thinks that Klay Thompson's social media antics are a negotiating tactic. Duh, that's what taking to social media to post something, to unfollow somebody, or in this case, your team, it's all about negotiating. It's all about driving up fan outrage to put pressure on the organization if you're Klay Thompson. Windhorst also believes that Golden State and Klay are apart on multiple fronts. Of course they are. Klay Thompson's looking at a team like the Orlando Magic. We might give you $25 to $30 million per year. The Warriors are like, we want to give you 15, 20. You want to continue your legacy here? Or do you want to continue your legacy somewhere else? More so from Windhorst. He saw Draymond and Wiggins get 4 years. And now Klay Thompson is like, Draymond Green got 4 years. Andrew Wiggins got a 4-year deal. They got a lot of money, and they haven't done for this organization, in some instances, what I have done. Now, Draymond Green has obviously been pivotal to the Warriors' success. I don't think that they go on that dynastic run without Draymond Green. But Klay Thompson is a two-way player, a sharpshooter, a clutch player, the better offensive player, still an elite defensive player for a long time, up until the last couple of years. He's done so much for this Warriors organization, and you know that Klay's legacy and his resume a lot longer than that of Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond got $100 million. Wiggins got $109. And Klay Thompson looks at that saying, where's my bag? I think that Klay wants to remain a Golden State Warrior, but he also probably wants more than 2 years and $25 million per season. He might be 34, but he can cash in with another team in free agency that makes a move for him, can give him a role, can give him starting minutes, clutch minutes, and money. And in some instances, he wasn't getting that with Golden State. I also want to pop up this quote from Leandro Barbosa, a former Warrior from several years ago. And he just kind of passes along some insight and some feelers for what could be happening here. He's going to have to be really patient. I hope he comes back to the Warriors. I know the money in the NBA contracts, it's going up, and he's been thinking about the money, but I think he needs to be happy. I think that's the most important thing. Being happy is important. being with the team or working for a company that you enjoy working for and going to work every day for, that goes a long way in anybody being happy. You can make money, but be miserable because you're working for a place that you don't want to work for. And if you don't like your job day in, day out, that sucks. I've been in that mental pickle before, and it leads to you being miserable every day because you're working 5 to 7 days per week. And if you're miserable in those 5 to 7 days, it's hard to be positive outside of that. Now, connecting back to Windy here, part of Thompson's happiness could lie in the team's vision of his role in a lineup. He wants starter money, thus a starting role. But Klay Thompson, funny enough, played better off the bench when Steve Kerr benched him. As a starter, his numbers not as good as when he was coming in as a rotation player. As a starter, 63 games, 17.5 points per, 42.5% from the field, 37.7% from three-point range. He was clearly pressing then. And then off the bench, 19.8 points per game, 46+% from the field, and almost 43% from three-point range. So the question is, how much money does he get? And the questions are that, what's his role? What's his future? Are you concerned about the injury history? All of these are a part of this conversation here, and the Warriors are thinking about all of this stuff. The future of Klay Thompson, undoubtedly fascinating. This is a player who's accomplished so much for Golden State. He's been a premier shooter. He's been a premier defender. He's helped lift the Warriors to 6 Larry O'Brien trophies. But the Warriors are in a spot where they can't afford to overpay for Klay Thompson, and they can't pay for past performance. Klay wants starter money. He wants $30 million per year. I think he might be best suited as a 6-man and bench scoring spark for Golden State right now. And what's funny is that when Steve Kerr benched him, Klay Thompson's numbers coming in off the bench were better, more efficient, and more productive. And the other thing is that as a starter, back in the day, elite defender. Now the defensive rating is dipped. So you can't really count on his defense as a starter any longer, and that's why Klay Thompson might go somewhere else to get more money and to play more minutes. Wings today must be two-way players. And Klay Thompson on some nights is a two-way player, but look, when you suffer a torn ACL and a torn Achilles, it's hard to still be that elite two-way player because you're naturally going to lose a step, and he's 34 years old right now. What should Klay's role be in 2024, 2025 if the Dubs bring him back? Should he start? Type S. Should he come in off the bench? Type B. Never miss a beat with our Warriors coverage here, by the way. Before we start talking draft, hit that sub button. We'll have updates on Klay Thompson all offseason long right here on Warriors Today. And hit that bell icon. Turn on those noties, therefore, when we do push out a show, you will be notified. As for ESPN's latest mock draft, who do the Dubs take in this second round? ESPN mocking Colorado guard KJ Simpson to the Warriors at pick number 52. You look at his numbers last year for the Buffaloes, a team that made a surprise run in the NCAA tournament, averaged nearly 20 points per game, pretty good passer, just under 5 assists, good defender with good instincts on that end of the floor, a steal and a half per game. And you always like to see these shooting numbers here, nearly 48% from the field and more than 43% from three-point range. As for the size and the age, he is a junior, so electing to forego his senior year, only 21 years old, will be 22 this year, 6'1", so he doesn't have great size, 187 pounds, that's solid for a guard. What I like about him, he attacks the cup at a very good rate, and he can knock down shots off the dribble. He's very comfortable in coming in off the dribble, and then the shot-making ability and the release is pretty good. Good playmaker, doesn't turn it over much, as evidenced by some of those assist numbers there. And then what I just mentioned, undersized frame may limit his ability to absorb contact and defend at the NBA level. Probably better suited to be a bench guy, at least to start. Here's what the Ringer's Kevin O'Connor had to say about him. Spicy shot creator with an ability to hit tough contested jumpers. or make crafty finishes at the rim. With his speedy, tight handle, he can be a handful to defend in isolation, but he also plays a seasoned style with pace in the pick and roll. And you think about it, right? Like the Warriors need some more off-the-ball ability, creating off the bounce, scoring off the dribble. Simpson can slide in, and he can be that creator off the dribble, off the bounce when Steph Curry needs a rest, either in-game or if he's going to take the night off in general. And sometimes these types of guards who can create, who have some wiggle, who have some speed, who can create their shot, who are comfortable in off the dribble, getting into that shot, they're valuable. Because you need that player, hey, we're going to give you 10 minutes tonight. But in those 10 minutes, you have the ability to take 8 shots. Hit 3 or 4 of those, be that spark plug, and change the momentum of a basketball game. What's the move at 52? What is the Warriors' biggest need on draft night? Sound off with what you think. As you venture down to the comment section, do not forget to hit that subscribe button here for daily and year-round coverage of the Golden State Warriors. Thanks so much for watching the show, and we'll catch you on Friday.